Do you like sports? Do you enjoy the thrill of attending them but have been turned off by exorbitant ticket prices? Well, my friend, you have an opportunity to not get your wallet pilfered by forces against your control. SeatGeek is the tool you need. It's an app taking the sports world by storm. It takes all available tickets on the resale market and consolidates them to get you the best possible value. The free market works for you in this regard. It grades tickets on a 1 to 100 scale. It color codes them to help you make an informed decision. It even lets you see the view from where you'll be sitting. Still uneasy about it? Let them help you get your feet wet. Use the code word TREE in the link below and get $20 off of your first purchase. Sporting events, races, fights, concerts, even if you want a night out at the theater, SeatGeek is the tool to help you out. And now for our feature presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the XFL!
The madman is actually going to do this. After the endless months of grumbling and rumor mills swirling about a potential return to the gridiron, it is happening. Vince McMahon, the charismatic leader of the WWE, the man whose ambition is matched by few, is reforming the XFL. It's ridiculously ballsy, I will give him that. For those of you that may be out of the loop in the sports realm, Vince tried this sort of stunt once before. The XFL was to be the NFL alternative during the spring months. The hype surrounding the league was unreal. Buzz from all of the major networks brought in millions of curious fans, myself included. They didn't have the reputation that the NFL did, but if there's one thing McMahon knows how to do, it's promote and sell a brand. This was to be the rebellious, hard-nosed, in-your-face football that the world was sorely missing. There was only one problem. They had to play the games. During the first week, ratings were incredible, but then curious onlookers saw one glaring flaw. The football being played was completely terrible. The XFL merely featured the scraps of the NFL, old wash-ups or practice squad fodder. It showed in the final product. Even if a lot of games in this NFL season were ugly, they were nothing compared to the showing the XFL put on. It didn't have any notable stars in the league. The guys most notable were Tommy Maddox and He Hate Me, a running back who would go on to the NFL for a few years. Ratings declined dramatically over the season, and the XFL was cast off from NBC as a result. A mere 15 months after it was announced to the public, the league was shut down due to financial bloodletting. The XFL has been both a cautionary tale and a punchline ever since. It has been hailed as one of the greatest failures of the 21st century. It has been picked to death and back analyzing its flaws as a business, yet here we are. Vince McMahon is going back to the well again. You may laugh at this because, as Chaucer mused, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. However, this is a much different environment than there was at the turn of the century. The old image that the XFL went under has aged about as well as spoiled milk. With all the research about concussions and post-career issues, there is no way that would pass muster today. Could you imagine the sort of uproar there would be over a jump ball coin toss or the awfully cheesy names given to teams? However, there are a few ways this new league could not only survive, but thrive. The first way for it to live is as a feeder league to the NFL. To get players that could develop into stars, it would involve having to poach recruits from the NCAA. But here's their pitch. Give us 3 years. You will get a guaranteed living salary, unlike in college. You may be able to secure endorsements, unlike in college. You won't have to worry about an academic degree you may not care for. It will be an incredibly tough sell for a new league, but there may be a few high-end athletes that bite at the opportunity. After those 3 years are done, they are free to either sign a new contract or go to the NFL. The second way is to try and woo those that have been disenfranchised by the NFL. Over the past couple of years, there have been plenty of fans that have been pissed off at the Shield for one reason or another. If I were the XFL, I'd try to put teams in cities that the league has abandoned or hasn't claimed. Cities like San Diego, St. Louis, San Antonio, Oklahoma City, Salt Lake City, Portland, etc. In fact, if they were bold, try to put teams where the NFL squads are terrible and show them an alternative. Places like Cleveland and Cincinnati. The main way for a competitor to find a niche is to capitalize on market inefficiencies. It's a core tenet of business. Hopefully the XFL is doing their research over this time period. The final way I can see this work is if they simplify the rules of the game. If this league can find a way to make a lot of stipulations easier to understand and interpret, it will make things so much better for the league. Things like what the fuck is a catch? What is a fumble? How long of a time limit can be placed on reviews? What is going to be the standard for league discipline? Are we actually going to get any sort of consistency in officiating, or is it going to be at their discretion? Those things are some of the biggest gripes about the league over the past 5 years, and if the XFL can somehow execute this properly, I feel it could win fans over. The NFL is going to be in a sticky situation in a couple of years. Things appear to be at an impasse between the league and its Players Association. All signs point to a potential player strike once the league's collective bargaining agreement expires. To be completely honest, NFL players are treated like total shit. They are merely at the whims of the league itself. Their contracts are nowhere near guaranteed. They can be cut on a dime and paid a fraction of what they signed for, and they are eventually thrown to the dust in favor of cost-controlled draft picks. The Players Association is pissed. They want change. If there's a chance for a competitor to rise and potentially take a market share of the NFL, the time is now. The XFL is going to have to play everything perfectly to even have a chance at this, however. One major slip-up in the league will go the way of the old XFL, the next great punchline. As someone who's fascinated by the inner workings of a business, I'm interested to see how this plays out over the next few years. Just don't be as disastrous as last time. So you've heard me ramble about the XFL and what its future may be. Now it's your turn. What do you think about the XFL's revival? Do you think it has a chance to succeed? Is it simply destined to fall flat on its face? Is the NFL vulnerable enough for a competitor to eat some of its market share, or will it walk away unscathed? It's definitely an interesting revelation. Time will tell if this venture succeeds or not. Shoot a comment below and tell me what you think. Thanks for watching, and see you for the NHL Haters Guide.